Listener Communications. You are listening to Brothers of the Serpent podcast.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, angels and demons and monsters and serpents. This is Brothers of the Serpent podcast, and we are coming to you live from the 10 by 10 by 10 tangent cube of science, where we are nestled amongst the dusty bones of an ancient seabed high atop the Edwards Plateau. We are joined by the Watcher this week for this live episode, but unfortunately, we couldn't seem to connect to him completely beforehand. So hopefully he's listening over YouTube, but we'll still be watching the Watcher chat, which is where he sends us all of his good information. And this is a listener communications episode. We still have a whole lot of emails to catch up on, which is great because we're in the middle of harvest. I've been traveling. We haven't had a lot of time to plan any particular subjects for a show, but I think we do have something coming up next week. It's going to be cool.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
I feel like I can't
You
really
can't hear yourself?
Maybe. Hope the intro was okay.
Also, Laura is here.
Hi, Snake
Laura.
Force. We have Joanne Ballard coming on next week,
Awesome.
and I'm very excited about that.
Joanne is a geologist?
I'm pretty sure she's
That's
a
right. Yeah,
geologist.
she was at the Cosmic Summit.
Yep.
She's great.
She's awesome.
Yeah. What else?
Why
Oh,
are you looking at me?
Kyle's still doing technical stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if
Does the soundboard work? Did you check that? It looks like it works. So let's do Space Weather News. Perfect timing from spaceweather.com, where we get all our space weather news. And by the way, spaceweather.com is an AI-free zone. Did you guys know this? There is a message on their website. Text created by ChatGPT and other large language models is spreading rapidly across the internet. It's well-written, artificial, and frequently inaccurate. If you find a mistake on spaceweather.com, rest assured it was made by a real human being, which is great. This podcast is the same. All the mistakes are made by real people. None of it is AI. Possible weak impact. A discontinuity in the solar wind near Earth may signal the arrival of today's expected CME. If so, it was a very weak impact. No geomagnetic storm will result from such a feeble blow. On the other hand, the discontinuity might be a random transient unrelated to the incoming storm cloud. Until July 21st is over, a minor G1 geomagnetic storm watch is still in effect. Also, SpaceX.
He had one job. He didn't even...
Me? Yeah. This is my job? Yeah, it's my only job, folks.
I keep telling
It's
you
your
guys I
only
can
job.
take a job. Why don't y'all just give that to me when I'm in here?
You're doing your job.
That's right.
Thanks, guys.
SpaceX just punched a hole in the ionosphere. On the evening of July 19th, SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 rocket from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Skywatchers from Southern California to Arizona witnessed a magnificent exhaust plume. At the San Francisco volcanic field north of Flagstaff, photographer Jeremy Perez saw something extra. After the rocket passed overhead, a red fluorescent glow expanded southward and crossed over the Milky Way, says Perez. It was visible for almost 20 minutes. This red glow is a sign that the rocket punched a hole in the ionosphere, something SpaceX and others have been doing for years. One famous example occurred on August 25th, 2017, when a Falcon 9 rocket carrying Taiwan's Formosat 5 satellite created a hole 4 times bigger than the state of California. On July 19th, 2022, another Falcon 9 punched a hole over the east coast of the USA, sparkling a display of red lights from New York to the Carolinas that many observers mistook for the Aurora Borealis. This is a well-studied phenomenon when rockets are burning their engines 200 to 300 kilometers above Earth's surface, explains space physicist Jeff Baumgartner of Boston University. This red glow appears when exhaust gases from the rocket's second stage cause the ionosphere to recombine quickly. Rocket engines spray water and carbon dioxide into the ionosphere, quenching local ionization as much as 70%. A complicated series of charge exchange reactions between oxygen ions and molecules from the rocket exhaust produce photons at a wavelength of 6300 A, the same color as red auroras. I reviewed footage from the July 19th launch, says Baumgartner. It showed the second stage engine burning at 286 kilometers near the ionosphere's F region peak for that time of the day, so it is quite possible that an ionospheric hole was made. Once rare, ionospheric punch holes are increasingly common, with record numbers of rocket launches led by SpaceX, sending Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. Ham radio operators may notice them when shortwave signals fail to skip over the horizon, shooting through the holes instead of bouncing back to Earth. Sudden GPS errors can also result from these anomalies. These effects may be troublesome, but they are short-lived. Reionization occurs as soon as the sun comes up again. I think that's pretty cool. Poking holes in the ionosphere. Current conditions, solar wind speed 423.5 kilometers per second. Density is 5.72 protons per cubic centimeter. Sunspot number right now is 131. And the neutron count is minus 1.4%, which is just below average. And the KP index is 4.33, which is unsettled. 24-hour max was also 4.33.
Hey. See? This is what happens when you do video.
What? What's happening?
They're only talking about hair. They're
Oh,
sitting
yeah, yeah.
there like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Yep.
No one cares
They can't
about
listen
space
to
weather
any
news.
space weather. Nope. Like holes in the ionosphere, how it works, why the exhaust does it. Doesn't matter.
No.
Kyle cut his hair off. That's all that people can think about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wild Vic, I see you, girl. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom.
See? And yet another distraction.
Yeah.
That was great. All right, so we're doing. Let's see, what else we got? Ag update.
Yeah.
It's harvest, and we've taken some grapes out of the field. I don't know if I talked about this before, but probably not. They were overcropped, so we were dropping them, dropping like half the fruit to really save the vines because they're young and they could collapse with that much fruit. So one of our fellow Snake Forest members out there, Chris Missick of Missick Wines, gave me the advice to save that fruit and make a rosé out of it. That's like, because it'll be a high acid, low sugar, and you can actually use that to add to a wine to acidify it later. Like it's a tool. It's basically just a tool.
A blending
Instead
tool.
of us adding tartaric acid to something, we can blend a little bit of this very acidic wine into it.
So you just store it long term and use it when
I
you
would
need it.
store it in stainless steel barrels.
And it gets better the longer it sits.
Yeah, but hopefully
Okay.
that's the goal. So yeah,
cool.
pressed that off the other day, made a gigantic, disastrous mess. Got that mess cleaned up today, and going back tonight to start the fermentation after the show.
Oh.
So just got back. It's settling. And just got to go do the yeast addition, which really needs to happen soon. And I couldn't get it done before I had to leave today. And one of our wells seems to have gone dry, which is not good.
Only one?
Yeah, it's the shallow one.
Right.
Right. It's the indicator that we may not have very much water left. So we're cutting off the water to everything that's not grapes.
Yep.
And so all of that stuff is going to die or stop growing.
Mm-hmm.
The garden and all these other things that are, we've got pecan trees and peach trees that are being, we're just going to
400 peach trees.
cut all that back and they'll be okay. But yeah, the garden's done.
Yeah.
No more garden.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's gone.
I heard part of this conversation starting earlier, and this right now. And
You got to
right
use
n-
that.
Sorry. Right now, I'm hearing actually what's happening for the first time. I didn't get to hear it yet.
Yeah.
So the garden is going away.
Hey, Bruce, thanks.
Yeah, we
drinks
had-
for the lady.
we also
but
had-
I offered her a beer. She didn't want one.
Bruce, to your wife. Hey, Deb. I think it's Deb. I hope I got it right. I hope I see you one day.
We also had pre-show donations, which I do want to call out before we lose those.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys read this one?
No. I mean, I just read it when it came up. You mean read it out loud?
Yeah.
Is that the first one, though?
No. That's what I mean.
Anyways,
Pre-show donations.
we're running out of water. We're in a drought, and the most valuable thing that we have is the grapes. So we have to basically cut off everything else, and we're even cutting the grapes back significantly as well. But we just got to get through 2 more weeks, and it's very hot. There's no water in sight. So yeah, it's been making me think about this in terms of sustainability.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Can I push this button?
yeah, please do, because I can't see my. You gotta, God dang it! Well,
And, no, right there. There was one. Right. It's right here. Right here. Right here.
This is Kyle's
Oh, you got it. That was good.
his salt rifle.
dead fly.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about the water situation.
Let's see if I can.
And I'm sad to see that garden go. You know, that's the way it goes.
Also, just want to mention that the album is for sale. If anybody on vinyl, if anybody didn't know that, go to $50dynasty.com and you can purchase it there online, and it'll get shipped to you hopefully pretty quickly. We're doing it ourselves, but yeah,
We don't
just
have
another
one in here. I want to wave one around. Nope.
No, I don't have any in here.
No.
They're beautiful.
We're great at marketing.
Yeah.
I could grab one on
genius.
a break maybe and bring one.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, what's next?
All right, so I know that there were at least 2 pre-show donations. I'm sorry, I can't find them in the live chat, so I will figure out what those were. But yeah, thank you to those of you, 2 of you, I think, who donated before the show started. Keegan J, $5 says, "Have you seen the story out of Oregon about the Rimrock Draw rock shelter? Solid dates from 18,250 BP." I think I may have seen maybe just a headline about that, but I haven't read anything about it yet. That is interesting. Maybe that's Kyle's job. He's supposed to be finding stories, but of course we're so busy right now that none of us are doing anything.
I don't have any time
Right.
for anything. Yeah.
And yeah, Bruce, thank you for the $20.
Let me see what kind of stories I got saved in here, because I do.
$20 drinks for the lady.
And Johnathan Bracken,
Edfu.
that's who that is?
No, Edfu just gave a donation.
Oh. Well, I was just going to tell Jonathan that I'm the one that cut his hair. I love it.
She did cut my hair.
Oh, you
this
mean-
is
you
my
mean
natural hair color?
That guy right there.
Yeah, that guy. Right
Yeah,
there.
I got
see that
some
one?
weird stains. I got weird marks on the back of my head for some reason. I don't know. Can you see them?
Yeah, I see him. Yep. Yeah, Kyle has
Also natural.
silver hairs back there.
Well,
They've been there since he was a kid.
He could have been abducted.
Right. Or he saw ghosts or something.
Or he just got really stressed one time during his life. And
Or
it
I
just
pushed him
popped-
down the stairs.
or
That
something
probably scared
happened.
the hell out of him, too.
Why does it have to be something bad? Why couldn't I have been enlightened?
Why is being abducted by aliens bad?
I did. That's a good point.
Okay.
Russ was saying push down the stairs. Yeah. I mean, typically when you get abducted, that's not good.
Right.
Like if they invited me, that might be.
Hey, I've been listening to the UFO series.
So tell
I've
me a
started
good
part
story
5.
about abduction.
Some people had good things to say.
They abduct you and they're like, you're actually half alien.
And then if you
You're
are
part
getting
Anunnaki.
abducted, maybe you're part of the race that keeps getting taken up. So then that could be a good thing.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
It doesn't sound good.
Oh,
to
you
me,
mean
Laura.
he's in the bloodline?
You haven't convinced
oh,
me
my
yet.
God. He's part of the bloodline.
I kind of wouldn't mind being part of the bloodline. If I did get abducted and I found that out, I would probably be like, all right.
It's possible, really, that all of us have been abducted. And there's only a very few people who actually remember part of it.
Are you freaked out that I'd be okay with being the bloodline? Is that why you're looking at me?
No.
Should I take that back? Should I not say that out loud? Okay.
I'll delete it.
All right.
Right.
Oh wait, this is live.
It's live. All right, so we have plenty of emails.
Let's do it.
Let me get this stopped here.
I got them pulled up as well.
Well, we're starting with John. We've heard a bunch from John, and I keep saving his emails because they're so great. So this is John, having heard us read some of his emails. And he's like, "You have read my emails. I am so sorry. LOL." All Oh, by the way, this one's called Episode 280.
What date is it?
May 23rd. Russ is very spot on with how my emailing has worked. Write a piece, run away for a while, come back to it, add to it, and continue on. I need to point out a few things I realized listening to you guys somehow navigating my horrible emails. Secondly, there's no firstly. Secondly, I had to go back to the beginning because I knew you guys were hilarious and I just didn't know why you were yet. Thirdly, the PD Pablo part has me in tears all over again. LMAO. What is this?
It's me.
Is it you? Oh.
At one point, I referenced P.D. Pablo, like North Carolina.
Oh.
Born and raised. What? I think you should know. Just around your head like a helicopter. I mean, I think that's what he's talking about because I've done that before.
Yeah, okay.
When we got off the plane in North Carolina,
Oh,
I did it
we
real
were
quick.
singing about a butt flap, though.
Oh,
Long
that's
time
right.
ago.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to.
It was about the butt flap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your butt flap off. Twist it around your head, spinning like a helicopter.
So what are you? You're like I'm in the flagged ones, but they only go to March. So is that not where I need to be?
That is the flagged ones. That's the right place.
Yeah, I just need to update.
Yeah, you're just not connected. That's fine.
Okay.
So PD Pablo has me in tears all over again. Fourthly, I'm sadly going to miss the summit. Me and the fiance are now expecting our first child, so the money has gotten tighter. And we proposed a day or two before you mentioned on the podcast a friend of yours did. The irony. And fifthly, I now regret skipping firstly. Y'all conned me into joining the Discord as my password's good enough. I obviously was having issues with my password. The Discord is better than described. It never felt so welcomed somewhere. Originally, this was going to be the short version. Not anymore, I guess. Well, I'll send a second one. I can't express how thankful I am for this podcast. The discovery of $50 Dynasty, the use of the long head excuse that my coworkers are overly annoyed by, so, how do you think the pyramids were made? Icebreaker that I use on everyone now. I blame all of this on you. Thank you so much.
That's cool.
Thanks, John.
I feel like I'm right there with you when you're writing it, and I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely a stream of consciousness. And you can tell he leaves. He has to do wrench stuff. He starts working on something, and then he comes back, and he's like, okay, I'll keep writing this. It's awesome.
Well, mine won't update.
It won't update?
It's stuck in March.
Oh,
What month do you need to be in?
May.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually a comment on the
Laura,
website.
they're complaining about your mic etiquette and
I'm
blaming it on me,
so
by the
sorry.
way.
Okay. I'll be better.
Of course.
Here we go. I'm getting better. Let's go.
So this is a comment on the website. What is it called? Oh, there's no title. Okay, it says, when I read the name of your podcast, I hoped it would be a further exploration of the themes in the great Bramley book. And boy, after listening to many episodes, it is so much more. I started my snaky explorations with Art Bell. I worked a night shift. Graham with Fingerprints of the Gods, and Lloyd Pye, Everything You Know Is Wrong, Book 1, Human Origins. Forgive me if you've covered Lloyd Pye's view on the seeding of planet Earth, but I think it warrants a discussion. In addition, it seems to be one of the many, quote, truth in fiction, unquote, predictions made by Arthur C. Clarke, seeding spaceships and monoliths on moons and planets, to name two of them. Keep up your snake shifting. Love your podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe that's... So Ben also is big on the work of Lloyd Pye. So maybe we could cover this book sometime. Everything You Know Is Wrong. That sounds perfect for Snake Bros.
Oh, yeah. The title of it is Everything You Know Is Wrong?
Everything You Know Is Wrong, Book 1, Human Origins. Okay, another one from John. This is called And Now the End is Near. And he says, well, actually, now it's over. I've ended the podcast, all caught up, heard my emails read. Y'all are spot on for the most part. I write as I think, in between turning the wrench. So here I am, back on episode 8 at this point, enjoying it all. Excited to hear GMA again, to be honest. Guy cracks me right up. I figured I'd give y'all a little comedy that came in my door today at the shop. We sell tires, Nitro brand. Customer came in and saw them and called them Nitro tires. I'm in the north. This isn't an accent calling them that. He just thought that was how nitro is pronounced. Life is all about perspective. Glad y'all have helped me see that. Snakes! Nitro.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, Marty.
Oh, we got Chuck in there.
All right. They were right. It was my fault that you weren't loud enough.
Oh.
Oh.
You guys are right. I didn't have the gain on your compressor up like these other ones were. So
And no, by the way, Watcher is not there.
You know what? I do sound better to myself now, too.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My fault.
Hey, I expect technical difficulties when I come in here.
That's not good.
Sorry. Let's go to the next one.
Before going live, it was almost no technical difficulties.
Yeah, well,
It's just the live show makes it, it's a lot more complicated.
what do you mean almost no? There were zero mistakes.
Almost no technical difficulties.
zero
Technical
mistakes.
difficulties are not mistakes.
For you, Snake Force. We do it. For you.
But no, this is cool. Like I said, I'm getting this figured out. I got to save this scene. I want to do it right now so that I will store this. Boom. There we go. Saved.
All right. It's scene saved.
Scene saved.
In the morning, Mr. White.
Russ, look, there's Russ and young Russ. There you go. Okay, where was I here? That was, yeah. So, Mike, this is from Mike. No subject. Hey, brothers. I'll try to keep this brief as I am writing from a phone in my dream and things get funky fast. I have a legitimate dream report that has many Jungian and deep subconscious tropes that I'll completely skip over for brevity's sake, El Deuterinos. This was the dream. I was with a couple of friends at an open-air arcade. One of the games was one where you grab two handles with both hands and it will tell you if you have cancer. And if so, what kind? I tried it and it came up clean. My friends took it seriously and I got pissed that they took it as if it was a medical diagnosis. Enter the phone. I pulled my uncracked, phone from my pocket and looked up this BS machine on the internet, hoping to show my friends how stupid it was. I was searching videos on YouTube, but obviously it wasn't YouTube in the dream. But the scheme, the colors, the format, everything was familiar. I watched several videos that said this machine was legit, and I got so mad that I woke up. Wait a minute. You're looking... First of all, I just want to say, you're trying to find legit medical information on YouTube? You're like, I'm going to show you guys this machine is BS, and you're looking on YouTube? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm behind the times, but I want to see text. I don't want to find a video that I have to watch. I don't know. Anyway, he says, I occasionally journal my dreams if they feel important. This practice, in my opinion, works the memory muscle and helps to remember dreams in the future. I've had a couple of prophetic dreams, mostly mundane, but a few that would bend the imagination. These ones I keep closer to the vest because nobody believes that shit. Anyway, I just wanted to weigh in on the phones in the dreams discussion. For the record, I'm old enough to remember when dial-up internet became a thing. Strange times, my brothers. Strange is what you make it, though. Love the show. Never stop it, barring a massive cosmic destruction, of course. Your friend from the edge of America, Mike.
Thank you.
But you're skipping over the fact that he had a dream with his using
Yeah,
his
no,
phone.
that's cool, and that's a legit.
Okay.
Like he pulled it up, it worked, it wasn't cracked, which is not right because I think he is implying that his phone is always cracked. But he pulled out a new looking phone and it worked. It was trying to search things on YouTube, which is dumb, but it looked like YouTube, and it was telling him that this machine was totally legit, which basically was saying that he was wrong and his friends were right in the dream, and that made him mad and he woke up. That's legit phone usage in the dream, I admit.
I had my first dream where there wasn't a phone, but I realized that I was listening to a telegram message coming from someone. And when I woke up, I realized, I told Kyle, I just had a dream with a phone in it. And then
It was a brick.
he asked me some more questions, and then I'm like, well, I didn't actually see the phone. But it was the first time that I know that my phone was sending this message to me with audio.
Yeah.
So that was my first. Probably because I've been in this damn cube with you guys and I keep hearing people writing about phones and now it's crept in. What if I would have never had a dream about a phone if I wasn't involved in this phone business? I don't know.
Yeah, or would you even pay attention? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
For the most part, if I ever am trying to use a phone in a dream, it's because I'm just trying to see what time it is or something like that. You're trying to look to get the screen to work so you can see the clock, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I think that's whatever recent phone dreams I've had have been usually not me trying to contact somebody, but trying to get information out of it, and it doesn't work. Yeah.
I haven't had one. No matter all the talk about phones and dreams, none. Not a computer either, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't remember using a computer either. Okay.
Lala C, 1999. I've started over again too. I'm currently on episode 11. Love it. I learn all over again. Hey there, Laura. Hey there, girl. How was that reading of a comment?
That was perfect.
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you. $20.
Maybe
Thank you
this
very
could be
much.
my new job.
Now I got to turn you down in the headphones.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're doing it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had
Not sorry.
I had you cranked way up because your actual gain was lower than the other ones. Should have been my first indicator.
Oh, this is also from Mike, the guy who wrote the email about the phone dream. And he just says, "Hey, forgot to put something in the subject line. Phone in dream would have been that. Anyway, I suck royally at tech stuff."
Kyle needed to read that one because he never reads.
So
the
a guy
subject
who's
anyway.
terrible at tech stuff is trying to use his phone in the dream and it doesn't work right. That makes
He's
sense.
looking stuff up on YouTube.
Yeah, he's looking it up on YouTube. Don't use YouTube search to look for legit information, bro. Come on.
You know, my
Hey.
complaint about YouTube videos when you do want to just look one up to learn how to do something, all the talking before they just show you how to do it.
I know.
Yeah.
All you people
Terrible.
out there who make YouTube videos to teach people how to do stuff, don't do that. Everybody fast forwards through all that talking at first.
That's
Everybody.
what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons I hate it. Like if I'm ever
It's so useful when you're working on a car or
Yeah.
a tractor or some kind of engine or something mechanical, and you need to see like, okay, I need this year, this model.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, okay, here's the alternator. It's way down there, and you're gonna have to take this off and this off, and here's the wrench I use. It's like, yes, this is perfect for that.
Yep. I agree with that. Yep.
I use it all the time for that kind of stuff.
Yep. I agree with that.
But there's no good winemaking videos on there. I've noticed
I've
that.
never looked anything medically up though on YouTube, so I will say I'm just gonna go with that. I've been just only looking up-
He wasn't actually looking up medical stuff. I was just giving him crap.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to find something that was like this game, which claims it will tell you if you have cancer or not, is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not really medical, but he
The
found,
other thing
he
it's
found
really-
a bunch of YouTube saying this is totally legit.
It's also really useful for learning how to use programs. like,
yeah.
Like video editors and stuff.
Oh, Troy's telling me they have to make the video so long to get monetization.
Ah. That's what it is.
They need to find a workaround where it's not boring talking. They just should shake it up a little bit is my thought.
Is that right?
What?
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess we've never come up against that issue. Our videos are all really long.
Yeah. Why don't this thing update? I want to get in on this.
Can he just pass the phone to you and you read one and then
I
you
don't
pass
wanna
it
use
back?
this
I mean, you guys are
crap-
sitting right
Piece
next
of crap
to each other.
Android. I ain't touching it.
I'm not handing in my phone.
His freaking text is like minuscule as well. I'll be.
Oh yeah, he has laser eyes now.
I need a slightly larger text, because of this minor dyslexic problem that I have.
Well, I mean, I did make it a little larger.
Oh, okay.
You
That's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, here, you read this one from John. This is another John Irving special.
John Irving.
In between wrenching.
I'll try to keep this short. I'll probably fail. I finished the podcast. I even watched the live show last night. I restarted the podcast. Ironically enough, I made it to episode 8 or 9. 8 had a lot of mentions in emails on the live show last night. Strange indeed. Today I've decided I should start Cosmographia on episode 2 right now. Randall just brought up Paul McCartney, the geologist. So mad no one pointed out that this guy rocks too. Good one, bro.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I went to write a novel and remembered I set out to keep this short, so I shall end on warm and fuzzies. As someone who works in a toxic environment, having you guys in my ear throughout the day to chuckle and learn with has been a true godsend. It has kept my sanity. For that, I thank you, boys and girl. This includes the Watcher and Marty.
Oh. Wait.
No, and also Watcher
Okay.
and Marty.
Okay.
Is what he's saying.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, this is from Xander? Yeah. Okay. It's called 0 Degrees Fahrenheit. Greetings, O great serpents. This bookish message comes to you as this teeny tiny snakelet is slithering his way through the back catalog. You have discussed the very snaky numbers that pop up in regards to Fahrenheit, 72 being the optimal temperature for man, the difference between water freezing, 32, and turning to steam, 212, is 180 degrees, and many more correlations that proves whoever Fahrenheit was, he was a snake.
The other one is the difference between the human body temperature and liquid water, like when water goes from freezing to liquid, which is 30, I guess it's 33. I can't remember which one, 32 or 33, is 66.6 degrees.
Yeah.
That's the other weird one.
33, I think, yeah.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, because 32 is freezing. That's when it freezes. So 33 would be when it
Let's see.
melts, if it's pure.
98.6 minus... Yeah,
That was 32.
98.6 minus 32.
Okay.
So from 33 to
Yeah.
98.6
Yeah.
is 66.6 degrees. That's just weird.
That is weird.
Guy knew something. Anyway,
This teeny tiny snakelet would like to submit an observation about 0 degrees. Being from Texas, I hope you and your grapes never experience this wonderful temperature, but from the pleasant winter tundras of Minnesota, I can tell you that something within the snow changes when the temperature reaches 0 degrees and below. When you take a step in the snow above 0 degrees, your boot will simply compress the snow. But at 0 degrees and below, the snow will squeak rather loudly. Every single step you make will be heralded by the very audible squeak. It makes it utterly impossible to sneak up on someone, and it is very much like the SpongeBob episode where he has the squeaky boots. Something must change within the structure of the snow as well, because when using skis, there is a considerable amount of friction working against you above 0, but when the snow squeaks, you can glide almost effortlessly. Personally, I use snow squeaking as a gauge to mark when it's finally nice outside, to put a hat and gloves on. If the snow doesn't squeak, it's too hot outside. The snow squeaking leads to all kinds of sayings in the north. The snow will tell you when it's time to ski. The snow will tell you when it's cold outside. The snow will tell you when it's finally nice outside. I hope you find this interesting, and another thing to add to Mr. Fahrenheit's genius scale, I'd like to think that this wasn't a book, but rather a brochure of curious information. P.S. 72 is far too hot to be optimal. 65 is the number for this snake. My wife's number is 68, and our 1-year-old will rip his blankets off anything above 60. Yep, I agree. 72 is way too hot. I keep my AC at like 68.
yeah, but if you were not clothed, you know, like if you're just in a butt flap, 72 is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like to stay in.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
I mean, fully clothed, 68
Yeah.
seems good.
Yeah.
If you're doing any kind of work, I'd rather be 60.
Yeah.
When I'm working in the winery, it's awesome. I don't sweat at all. I can sweat even at 60 degrees. But when you're working hard in there, it's
you can still
so
sweat.
nice.
Yeah. I think this is cool that the snow may change. Something happens to it below 0.
Yeah, that is cool. It gets squeaky.
Yeah, and I know this from Vermont. I mean, you know, I lived in Vermont over the one winter, and it was like that. Eventually, it becomes. He said SpongeBob, but maybe I think of different references, or maybe he's got a kid. But I think of Jim Carrey in The Mask when he's pretending to sneak.
Yeah.
All right, is it break time?
It's break
Take
time.
a break.
I guess so. What is going on here? Oh.
Ooh.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, Brothers of the Serpent podcast, live, doing listener communications. Again, trying to catch up.
Yep.
Still in April.
At the rate we're
Or
going,
May.
we're going to catch up. No, we're in June now.
Okay, we're in
Yeah,
June.
we'll
All
catch
right.
up, and this will be a short show.
All right.
Yep.
And we love hearing from you guys.
Yep. Oh, I see a question in there that I was going to ask. I see Marty is in the chat.
Yeah, he is.
Marty, you going to be ready in 2 weeks, bro?
You better be, bro.
Marty, I am doing it. I'm putting in the time. I'm listening to him,
She's
and I'm
listening to him,
loving
yeah.
it. Loving it.
Yeah, she came to me and she was like, these episodes are way better than you guys made them out to be. Y'all were acting like these episodes were no good. I was like, what? What? They were great episodes.
They're so good. I just finished part 4. It was a little masterpiece of like everything that I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But I got a long ways to go.
Wow, you're already at part 4. Not bad.
No, I'm on part 5, but I have a long way to go.
Yep.
But I'm doing it. I'm putting the
Wait
time
till you
in.
get to part 11, part 5.
Ooh.
Dude.
Yep. Yep.
I can't wait. I'm having a blast. I really am.
All right. Look, I'm doing my job.
Hey. You only had
my
one job.
only job.
His only job. Finally did it.
This one's called Two Thank Yous and a Thought from Heather. Dear Snake Siblings, and hey, Laura.
Hey.
I am a humble serpent hippie living in the overcut canyon of Durango, Colorado, and from here, the view looks like a post-alluvial wonderland. In the splendor of this place, I have passed the last few years experiencing repeated brain expansions. First, thank you for your fantastic approach to books and scientific research. You make public, understandable, and best of all, flippin' hilarious. Second, thank you for the music, which I play loudly at work. Seriously, it gets a lot of praise, and I tell everyone to download it. As a musician, music gets stuck in my head easily, so I am super picky about what I listen to, and you guys kick serpent posterior.
Thank you.
My thought is this. Please hire a babysitter or bribe some snake grandparents, because Laura needs to be in on every show.
Thank you.
So sweet.
Yours truly, and totally not a mammalian butt flap in disguise, some strange hippie named Heather.
I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Heather. I knew Laura would like that one.
Do we know this, Heather?
It's not that. It's not that Heather.
Let's just
This one's in Colorado.
I can love more than one Heather.
Heather doesn't know how to use emails.
Oh, yeah, that's
she
right.
Sends
That's
things
right.
by parchment.
Mike of Night. Kyle, you
Which one? That one or this one?
can you roll it? Can you scroll that back down, please? Mike of Night. Kyle, you should produce 8 hours of this I can have on while I sleep. That
music.
I agree with that.
Oh, 8 hours of the instrumental stuff?
Yeah. I would like to have it too.
All right.
Yeah, bro, just sit down and write an 8-hour song, please.
Yeah, in all your spare time.
I mean, I can write a 4-minute song and loop it
Yeah.
for 8 hours.
10 days of Dynasty. YouTube video.
Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it, Mike.
Okay.
Good night.
Let's see. Is there a name in here? Harley, maybe. It's called Dreams. I, too, have the issue where my punches in a dream are powerless.
I hate this.
It's like when awake and underwater punching. Useless.
Yeah.
This has gone on my whole life, and on account of it, I have only thrown one punch, and it was back in 3rd grade, LOL. Also, I have a gravity thing in my dreams. I am able to jump very long distances.
Me too.
Matrix style. I do this also.
Yeah.
And I always find out by accident.
I can't punch, but I can jump like a madman.
Yeah.
I can jump like my jumping often turns into flying.
Yeah.
It's just like just 45-degree angle keeps
Yeah,
going.
that's right.
And then I'm like way above the city and I'm like, wow, I'm going to die.
Yep.
Because that has happened too.
That's happened
I finally come down and just and then
Yep.
my ghost comes out and I'm like, whoop.
Wow.
Just died.
Yep.
I've never experienced punching or what was the second?
Jumping.
Jumping. The
Yeah.
punching and the jumping I've never had, but I have kind of had a floating or like a flying thing happen.
Yeah. Jumping, I can.
Yeah, I'll just randomly try to jump something, and then it keeps going. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then you get up above the trees, and you start getting worried that you don't actually know what's happening. And maybe you're going to have to come back down. So, yeah. So he says, I write these emails spur of the moment when I'm listening to y'all. I usually skip the pleasantries and such, but I want you to know that I love you guys. I'm about to start episode 133 and listening in order except for this one exception. I listened to episode 287 just now. Great episode. I really like it that y'all don't edit them. It seems so much more unstaged, realistic, and personal. I am glad to see that you still do things the same way and keep it real. When I do stop to write you, I can never remember the things I wanted to mention, but your quirks and antics are the best. Gets me laughing a lot and makes my workday go by faster.
that's cool. Thanks.
I have learned so much from y'all. Sometimes I stop your show and go study a topic for a while. Ringing blocks. Amazing. Bristlecone pines living up to 5,000 years. What a cool way to look into the past and compare with other methods of dating. I have a lot of traffic at the shop, and many are surprised to hear what I'm listening to. It sparks some great conversations. I always share your cast and try to get more people involved. I think it is so important that folks learn that the standard model isn't close to correct or finished. I am dreading the day when I get caught up and I don't have 3 to 5 episodes to hear per day.
Start over.
I've looked into several other podcasts that y'all have mentioned. None of them have kept me attentive like yours and Randall's. It seems like you and Randall and Cosmographia aren't putting out episodes like before. What happened there? I would still like to hear how the Woodhinge went or is going. I hope to hear about it in an episode or maybe see some pics. I would love nothing more than to come visit and see your farm and business and projects. Keep up the great work, guys, and never change the ongoing conversation.
What were we calling it?
What is that?
It's like
The Great Texanian Woodhinge Project.
Texanian Woodhinge Project. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
What is that?
We have 2 posts.
Yeah. It turns out it's cloudy most mornings here. Or a lot of the mornings, and you have to get there at sunrise.
I've gone there. Well, so since then, I've learned we've both learned other ways to accomplish some of these goals. But anyway, the Woodhinge was basically we surveyed out we picked a position at the very highest point at the vineyard, and then found like on the equinox, went and
The rocks you have up there on the top?
no, that's
Okay.
just a compass rose.
Yeah.
But we started shooting with the transit on the equinox sunrise and sunset. And of course, it's slightly off, but we wanted to mark it. So like, here's the equinox sunrise. Then we started marking the position of the sun right as it enters each different house.
Okay.
Right? We got 2.
Okay.
We have like Aries and the equinox sunrise marked, and that was it.
Yeah.
Every other time we show up there in the morning, it's cloudy. You can't see where the sun is rising. We're
And you have, you're trying to get that month, and if you miss it, you have to wait till next year to get that particular constellation.
And then just, things it's so busy there now. Like, I just don't have time.
Yeah.
But I would love to finish it. Just don't have time to do it. So it's not going well, to answer your question.
Right.
It's really not going good.
Yeah. It's also not a simple thing to stand up those posts on top of that hill. It's all
you
rock.
have to drill into rock.
You have to get the machine up there, and you have to hook up the
auger.
the auger, and
With
you
the
have to
rock
drill,
bit.
with the
We're
rock
sitting
bit,
there.
and you have to drill a respectable hole into solid rock,
And
which is it's a crystalline hill cap,
And we're
it's not
shooting
soft.
that. We're shooting that with the transit, and it's like, okay, right there.
Yeah.
And then you get the drill on it, and it's like,
it's
and you're
walking all over the place.
You
Yeah.
got to move it back, and like we're shooting from the transit from like 50 feet away, and it's like, okay, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Move it over, and then you finally get the hole started. Then you got to set the post in concrete into the hole. And so then we're like, we got to make sure. Then we're shooting the top of the post, and it's like, get it just right.
Yeah.
Where we're in the middle. It's doable, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Yep.
What's going on here?
Did we get the other donations on there? Edfu sent one. Did we read his donation?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably
sorry
gone.
if we're like missing all these folks.
Yeah. That was way early. Yeah, we
No, I
got
read
that
that
one. It's not. Okay, there it is.
Yeah. Edfu text you later. My favorite conversation. Bros. Precession. Amazing. Second full listen of album hooked me. Questions. What language is in Deos chanting? Did I hear Horace in the chant? Yes, you did. Is Russ on the drums? He's playing djembe.
Djembe, percussion, yeah.
Kyle, are some songs in E flat? Yes. Mixing it.
Mixing fire,
Mixing
love it.
fire, love it. Okay. Yeah, so there's a handful of the songs are actually we tuned down a half step. Like all the guitars are tuned down a half step. And that's a practice we started doing because initially it was for vocals, just to like I write a song and there's like a melody that this is a bit high. I'm like, I really want that note, but it's too high. And rather than use a capo or something and try to transpose it to some other place, like we'll tune down a half step. A lot of times when Russ and I play cover shows where we're singing a bunch of these songs that we like to cover, we tune down a half step. It just makes it a little bit easier on the vocals. So at times, like I'll be writing a riff and then I'll record it, and the guitar was in half step, and then that just ends up being the key that it's in. So sometimes it's unintentional, other times it's intentional. But that's cool, man. Glad you like it. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question about Deos,
Yeah, no.
but
This is your
let's
job.
see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the job of the listeners to figure this out.
I'll just put it this way. There are ways to discover what is being said in Deos.
Yeah. That's right. Okay. And then he asked a question about Cosmographia. So yeah, stuff got, with Cosmographia, it's always a scheduling battle. There's a lot of us that work on that show. And just recently, well, for the past while, really, the scheduling has been more difficult. Randall has more projects. He's got more people asking for his time. He's doing other kinds of things. So, as long as his material is getting out there, it's great. But yes, specifically Cosmographia, we have been making fewer of those episodes. We used to record one a week, and that was too much for Brad, who was doing all the editing. And then we pared it down to 2 a month and 2 lives a month. And we kept that up for a while. So that made it where it was 2 live episodes a month and 2 recorded episodes a month. And then, Randall started doing these, these paid seminars. And then he's got all these different conferences he's being invited to and other podcasts he's being invited on. So yes, there's always scheduling. Let's see. What else do we have
Show
here?
you a little more here.
Kyle's got
Hey,
the record.
podcasting is hard work, people.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, reflecting the screen too. It's very shiny.
Hey, look, there's you guys.
Yeah.
Look at y'all.
Look at the chat in the record.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
All right. Well, what do we got here?
Can you send an album to the UK, Kyle?
Yes.
Yep.
So,
We'll ship it to wherever.
I gave you a good hint.
A good hint?
That
That was a terrible hint.
You
No
didn't
hint
see,
at all.
You didn't see what I showed on the video.
Okay.
Oh, he's going to have to go back and
Oh, I see.
take a look.
I see. Yeah. I see. That's how you find out what's being said.
See, that's the only way to find out what's being said.
Yeah. That's true. Or you could be, well, yeah, I better not give any clues. Okay. Let's see. This is from Lauren the Man. It's called Angry Snake Eyes. He says, "Saw deeds. Thanks for reading my last email on air. I had to boast about it to the old baby mama. She was thoroughly, sorta, kinda impressed. I got beef with the snake wife, though. She hey girled me on air in front of tens of dozens of people. I am a man, damn it. Regardless, please relate to her that I said, hey girl.
I'm sorry I hey girled you, but hey girl."
Dude.
And you said it, you said Lauren, and
Yeah.
then I said it, and you're like, well, it might be
I think it might be a dude, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that'll teach me to just willy-nilly throw out the hey girl.
As to sending you a gift, what, I got to subscribe to a page in order to send you a gift? Are y'all Egyptians? Because y'all erected one hell of a pyramid scheme. I like it. I hereby swear on my scales to join the Snake Force as a snakelet. Do I have to get jumped in or bite somebody to get blooded? Because I'll do it. We can start a turf war with scriptards for all their archaeological sites. Gang, from Lauren the Man.
I love that part. I love that part.
Yeah. I am a man, damn it. Regardless, please relate to her that I said, hey, girl.
I love it that he's ready to get jumped in if that's what we do. I love it.
Yeah, so I'll just say this. The best way to get, if you want to send us something, we do have a P.O. box. If you want to send the Snake Bros something over through the post, you can do it through the mail. And the best way to get the address, some people email me, and I usually remember to reply and give them the address. But the best way to get it is there's a command in the Discord. So if you join the Discord and you pass the test, keep in mind, you can't just join. You know, we want this Discord is specifically for people who listen to the show and listen to it enough to know some of our inside jokes. So there's a test when you join the Discord. Do you know some of the inside jokes?
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Yes. You are asked 9 questions, and you only have to answer 3 of them mostly correctly. There's at least one cheater where you can just tell them what one of the questions is, what is your favorite episode? And that, I mean, it's sort of a cheat because there's no right answer, but you do have to at least know something about one of the episodes, right? But even so, if you pass the test, once you get in, there's a command, and one of the bots in the Discord channel will just give you the addresses. There's 2 of them. There's the regular P.O. box if you're using USPS, but if you want to use UPS or FedEx or whatever, there's a separate address that goes to the same box. And I think it's like exclamation mark the number 1 up box in the Discord. The bot will just return with the addresses. So that's the best way to get it. But, you know, people do email me and ask, and I have given them the addresses. And the Discord's great. You guys should join it.
It really is a great
If you want to join the Discord, there's a permanent connect link on the website. So you go to brothersoftheserpent.com, click the Discord chat link on the right on the menu, and then right there's a little widget. You just click connect, and it'll send you right in there. And there's a mobile app. You can use it on your computer through the browser, or there's an app for phones. Okay. Where are we at here?
Yes, you must jump through our hoops.
Yeah, hoops.
Troy.
Yes, there's a lot of hoops to be jumped through.
Yep. It's very exclusionary.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to look at...
Yeah.
You get one chat room, and you can stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
Until you can answer 3 questions.
That's right. 5 questions.
3.
3 sets. Okay, this is called Thanks for the Birthday Present from Eric. Hey, Russ, Kyle, and Laura. My name is Eric, and I've been listening to you guys for a couple of years now, and I enjoy every episode. It is probably my favorite podcast out there. My girlfriend and I listen to the podcast on long road trips, and she likes the show a lot as well. A few days ago was my birthday, and my girlfriend gave me the best present ever, a book with a nice message from you 2 in there. Such an awesome gift. My girl told me that there were some issues initially with sending the book she had bought to Texas, but with your help, the book arrived exactly on my birthday in Valencia,
Wow.
Spain, where we live. Yay! Thank you so much. Best birthday present ever. After listening for such a long time, you guys are like friends in a way. I'm sure everybody else listening and in the Discord can relate to that. My girlfriend and I have the little dream to visit Texas one day, so perhaps until then, once again, thank you so much. Greetings from España, Eric. Snakes!
That's cool.
Yeah, this was
glad you got it.
Happy
Yeah,
you
this
got
was
it
a
on your birthday.
this was a fun thing. She emailed me, a long time ago, like months before his birthday, and she was like, "Hey, I have this plan. I'm gonna get him this book for his birthday. Can I send it to you guys and you sign it and then you send it back to me?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool, we'll do that." And then she tried to send it and it didn't show up, and I don't know what happened. And then we managed to get it, and we got him a nice hardcover version. And Kyle and I wrote a bunch of stupid Snake Bros stuff in it. and then Laura managed to get it to the address that they gave us. So cool. I'm glad it got there in time for your birthday because we were getting a little worried. So that's awesome.
Heck yeah, that's
And you have an awesome girlfriend. She had a lot of planning, forethought.
Yeah.
And we worked on this for back and forth for weeks to get it to work. So that's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Snake Sister. Good on you.
What are you supposed to say?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. All right. Let's see. This is from the other Kyle. This is called Apocalypse. Hey, Serpents. I'll make this one quick for y'all. There I was, listening to Procession by $50 Dynasty for the millionth time, and I was thinking about the world ending. It could happen in so many different ways. A solar storm, nukes, Yellowstone, the list goes on. And then I had the thought about the effect that thinking about the world ending has on a human being. At first, the thought is existential, paralyzing. Every day becomes more meaningless knowing that none of what we created here would matter. Sometime later, you get used to the idea of the world ending and realize the empowerment that realizing any day could be the end has, the vigor to carpe diem. So, I was just wondering what you guys thought about the world ending. Does it scare you? Do you try not to think about it too much? I'm curious what a couple of snakes might ponder about when they think about the end of the world. Godspeed from Kyle. And P.S. $50 Dynasty is the greatest band to ever exist. P.P.S. Snakes!
Thanks, dude.
That was a great email. All right, let's talk about the end of the world.
I guess
I'm fascinated by it.
I am too, but I always think about it in terms of me surviving.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's because if I'm just gonna die at the end of it, like right when it happens,
Yeah, like whatever.
I have no, there's nothing to think about after that.
If it's awesome fossil face time, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's actually as far as I've gone. Is
Right.
like strike a pose.
Yeah.
Just try to put yourself in a situation where you will become a fossil. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so when I do think about it, I think about the possibility of actually surviving it. Not obviously, you're not going to survive it forever because we're all going to die. So, but how would we survive it? And
keep surviving it.
And keep
Because
surviving
it isn't
it.
something that, it's not a thing that stops.
right.
It actually just gets harder.
That's what I mean. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to survive it forever because we're not going to live forever no matter what. Mm-hmm. So but if you can manage to like keep your life going in some way. So yeah, I think about that a lot, and I'm probably definitely not prepared. I don't think.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go underground, you have to already have all the food in there.
Yeah, we're not going underground.
I mean, who's piling up food in a cave?
The government.
That's true.
Storm the government's cave.
Actually,
Naruto run.
Snake Mom is doing a pretty good job of
Snake
stashing
Mom
away-
is prepping.
She has an amazing stash going.
Yeah.
But it's in a house, not in a cave.
Our buddies in Kentucky also are preppers.
In a cave? Is it underground?
They have caves.
Okay.
They got caves over there.
They have caves with rivers running through them, so they're set. I mean, if the end of the world hits, they have a cave right like within like a 10-minute walk from their house. You could jog down there with the kids
Wow.
and get in this cave, and it's got a river in it. You would be okay for a while if you had food.
It'd be so tough to live in a cave
Yeah.
with water in it.
Yeah.
But then let's talk about do you ever ponder on the different ways that it could all end? Because I guess if it's,
I feel like the most likely, natural destruction of the world would be some kind of massive volcanic thing. The second most likely one would be some kind of impact. And then the third would be sun. I don't know. Maybe the sun is more likely. But to me, it's like, if you have some, like he said, Yellowstone, right? If a Yellowstone supervolcano goes off, that may not be an extinction level event for the human race, but it is definitely the civilization ending. It'll put a stop to civilization, and it'll be cold for a really long time. No crops. Once you have crop failure, everyone who survived the initial volcanic event starts starving to death. And then you have, you go down to a bottleneck, like with the Tonga explosion that happened 70,000 years ago or whatever. And then you have 6,000 people left spread out all over the planet, just struggling to survive and eating crappy grass, living in caves,
Eating dead leaves.
Yeah, escaping from the cold.
Chewing on leather.
All the animals are dying off. There's nothing to hunt. I mean, it doesn't sound like fun. And then you have to find a source of fresh water that you
Ice
can
fishing.
drink. Yeah.
Ice fishing is your best bet.
Yeah.
that's crazy that it's such a huge tourist attraction and people are all over it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. I guess it's like a thrill of, ooh, this could be the day.
Hey, Luke. Finally, Russ and Kyle have an expert on the show. Yeah, Laura's the expert.
What's up, bro?
Hey.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. Like that's if Yellowstone went off, and we had like this nuclear winter or whatever, not a nuclear winter, but a what do you call it when it's a volcanic winter?
Yeah, I mean, nuclear winter is what people say, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same kind of thing. A volcanic winter,
Yeah, that would be
year without a summer.
Just we had a scenario here, this last couple of years where we lost power and it was freezing cold, and everything is. We basically didn't have a fireplace here, and it was just for a couple of days, but that kind of woke me up. Like, wow, if this went on for some extended period of time, this would be very difficult. And we had a newborn baby, and it was like this is not be easy. Like if that just kept going for years, that would be freaking hard. But you would have to if you were in a place where you were at least sheltered from any immediate deadly situation like pyroclastic flow or all that kind of stuff, but it's just cold. You just get. I mean, you have to have community. Like people, you can't just be like, okay, me and my family are surviving. It's going to have to be a group effort because you will have to get food. People will have to forage. It's going to have to be something like that.
You mean I can't go out into the wilderness by myself and fashion a bow from a cedar tree and hunt deer, make pants?
First, you have to wait for a grizzly bear to make it all the way here. And then by that time you have to be able to kill that grizzly bear
to take
in a
so I can
mono e
make
barrow fight.
Mono e barrow.
Bear in hands.
Yeah, you have to slay him with your bare hands, and then you have to get his pelt.
Well, hold on. I have like a samurai sword. Can I drop out of a tree and just?
Yes, that can work.
Okay, all right, because I can
And
do
then
that.
you can use the samurai sword to get
Yeah.
his. Then you have to wear his skin.
Yeah.
Wet.
Wear his bare skin.
Wear his bare skin on your bare skin.
The wet parts.
I mean, are you going to tan this hide? Do you know how to tan hides?
No, it's going on wet, I guess. That's just what's going to have to happen.
That's one thing
You
I've been
need
working
ash
on.
and brains.
I've been
to tan
working on
hides.
tanning hides. I have done some work on that. And
Yeah.
it's not easy.
No.
It takes days.
It does. So you need a good fire.
And a lot of...
Okay, so someone in this chat is saying willow, not cedar. All we have here is cedar. I'm specifically referencing right outside. Like we have oak and cedar.
Yep.
So I'll go outside and make a bow from cedar. Maybe a spear would be better. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, and then it'll break. I know that cedar was a joke. You can't make a good bow from cedar. Maybe you can make a spear point. It stabs me all the time.
I was like, think about it. You would have to kill so many deer to make a pelt like good enough to survive these
Yeah.
frigid temperatures.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be difficult being on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it in a lot of video games, though. I think I can do it. It's hilarious. I'm actually playing one right now called The Long Dark, and they have this enormous warning when you start up the game. It's like, do not go out into the wilderness and try to survive with what you learned from playing this game. You will die. Which makes me think, like, this is a real problem.
Yeah, people have
That
tried
people
it.
actually think that they are going to go out into the wilderness of Canada during the winter and survive.
One time, Russ and I and a good friend of ours went to the beach way out on this, what is it, Matagorda, way out past like the 4-wheel drive, and just, I think we went like 11 or 12, or maybe, I can't remember how. It was
It
a
was
long
way
way
out there, yeah.
Many miles out onto this, after you get past civilization and it's all 4-wheel drive, deep sand. And we're like, we're going to camp out here for 7 days. And we're not bringing any meat. We're just bringing some potatoes, some onions, some cornmeal, some oil. And we're just going to build campfires, and we're going to catch fish.
Yeah, we're going to
fish.
fish.
Survive on the fish that we catch. And we didn't catch fish for like the first 3 days.
Yeah, we were starving.
We'd catch we were catching these ladyfish, which are just
Terrible.
terrible. You start cooking it and just meat falls apart. It's just like this paste. We were making these soups. Out of this
Oh my God,
nasty
they were
fish.
awful.
It's like,
We're like, I'm so hungry.
and then there was a storm. We had to move. We kept moving campsites because we were getting nailed by mosquitoes, or whatever. And then we had a storm come in, and then we just started nailing the fish. I mean, we were bringing in so many whiting, and me and Russ were just like, "Yeah, dude!" It was like all three of us were catching all these fish. We filled up the cooler full of fish.
I mean, it was in a huge.
And after that, Russ and I became.
Yeah, we became.
It's like the society of us three became so rich
Yeah.
that Russ and I stopped working altogether.
on food. We were like, we don't need to fish anymore. Let's go be weird shaman.
We literally were like, because seriously, folks, you don't have to wear clothes on this beach because there's no one. And so we were out there just wearing a sock. And
I can't believe you're telling them.
Yeah. We formed the sock tribe.
it was the
I
sock
know.
tribe.
I know about it. I was wondering if we were going to get there.
And
Yeah.
we were collecting stuff off the beach because anyway.
The storm was washed up all kinds of interesting stuff. All up and so we were roaming up and down the beach just collecting strange trinkets and weird objects and dragging them back to the camp.
We
and
made staffs with all this stuff hanging from them. We were like, hey. We straight up turned into shamans.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yeah,
we also
our buddy comes back from fishing and we're like dancing around a little mound with a coconut we found, like waving these staffs that had all this weird fishing gear hanging off it, like he's like,
Gosh,
what
that's
the
amazing.
fuck are you guys doing?
and
We caught all the fish.
we were like, we need fried fish.
Yeah.
Because we're tired of this baked fish stuff that we've been making and soups. So we went and found a propane tank,
Yeah, a little 5-gallon.
like a small grill propane tank that was just laying in the sand, and we threw rocks at it because from far away because we're like, we don't know if it's still pressurized.
Yeah.
We're like throwing rocks at the valve. We ended up breaking it off. It was not pressurized.
Yeah.
And we peeled it back with a pair of pliers and turned it into a fryer.
Wow, guys.
And we like cured it, and we set it in the fire until it was like glowing red hot. To,
And you
Sure.
guys think
Yeah.
they have a certificate of ignorance.
Kill everything
Come
in it.
on.
Then
They
we-
can make
we
a fryer out of
quench-
it.
Quenched it in the ocean, then put it back in the fire, poured oil in
Poured
there,
oil
and we fried fish in
with
that
the
thing, and it was
cornmeal,
Gosh,
and
that's
we were just like,
amazing.
amazing.
it was awesome. We lived like kings for the last 4 days of the trip.
Yeah.
True story, people.
my
I wasn't
God, it was-
there, but I've heard it before. I
It
believe
was so awesome.
We need to do it again.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
It was great. That storm saved our asses. We would have
Yeah.
died. We weren't catching anything.
Yeah, it's hard, in other words. Even with all the tools and everything that we had,
Yeah.
and like this giant ocean.
Yeah, and we had a huge thing of water, right? So we didn't have a water problem. But
Oh,
if we'd
if
have gone out there with no
If
water,
we'd have had to go looking for water,
yeah,
There's
we
no
would
way.
have been dead.
No way, yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is actually priority number one.
Right. Water. Fresh water.
Obviously, if it's a winter, you'll have snow. But if you have a different type of disaster, like, man, how are you going to get water?
Yeah.
It's going to be rough.
All right, we can take a break, and when we come back, we keep talking about this because there's other kinds of disasters. This is
Absolutely.
a fantastic
I love this
conversation.
topic.
Yeah.
I do too.
All right. We'll
at
be
that.
right back,
What do we got
folks.
playing on the old thing here? Ooh, one of my favorites.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the Sock Tribe,
Sock Tribe.
Brothers of the Servant podcast.
Shaman socks.
Sock Tribe podcast would be a great name. Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, and our buddy that we went with, that guy is a survivor.
He is a survivor.
I mean,
yeah.
I've learned so much.
He never
from him.
stopped fishing.
No.
He didn't care that the cooler was full. And he kept fishing. He was just like, what the hell are y'all doing?
We're actually planning a beach trip with him in October, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, is he going in October?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now we all have kids, so you can't be in the sock tribe.
We're not. No,
Yeah.
it's a totally different
It's
situation.
a totally different
But we
sock
could still
tribe.
stand on the beach together fishing and be like, yeah.
yeah.
Remember the sock tribe days, bro?
Yeah, you can't tell the kids we're only going to eat what we catch. Like, Soul's hungry every 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah. Well, Lila's the raccoon digging in everybody's stuff.
Yeah, but she'll eat whatever, almost, right?
true.
Soul's like, no,
Yeah.
I want
That's
you
true.
to pick all of the salt pieces off this cracker before I will eat it.
Which, by the way, speaking of the children, Soul wanted me to tell the Snake Force that he loves you guys so much. He's a pickle.
That he'll be a pickle.
Okay.
Okay.
That's how much he loves y'all, that he would turn himself into a pickle.
And
I don't know what
when
it
I went
means.
inside for a break a little while ago, he's being camped in underpants and he was flinging his underwear like as a
Like a weapon.
yeah. Anyway,
I also have a random question that I'll throw out to the Snake Force. There was a series, I think a TV series some time ago about I think it's like a hotel that had a room or several rooms. When you opened it, it gave you access to different realities or different universes or something like that. If anybody
know
knows what
what
this
you're-
is,
I-
let me know what you think the name of it is, because I'm trying to find out. I have a possibility, but I want to see if anybody else has any ideas.
I don't know if I know the name right now off the top of my head, but I do know what you're talking about. I will think.
Okay. All right, so other possibilities of world ending. So we were just talking about in general, you know, if you have a nuclear winter or whatever. So like an impact would also cause a nuclear winter. So this is another one of the ones where if you're not in the path of total destruction, right, then what are the consequences? You know, if you have a water impact, then it rains mud for forever.
Yeah.
And then you have flooding. But like
And
rain
you can't go
flooding.
underground if it's flooding.
Yeah, and then in the high latitudes and in the high altitudes, it's snow, right? And then those turn into glaciers and they start running down off the mountains or whatever. So you just have water everywhere.
The other possibility is that you're not in the immediate like blast zone or whatever, but if there's like bolide, explosions that start fires, you can have all these massive fires just burning everything. And then you've got the smoke from that, and it's,
Yeah.
then after the fires are done burning, then those ashes start blowing in the wind, and it causes all these storms, and it's just full of ash.
Yeah.
It can be just a whole series of really nasty plagues.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, going down into a cave in that scenario is probably the best, I would imagine.
Yep.
You don't want to be on the surface. But yeah, like how do you do that? You have to store up
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And you have to know. That's why it's like you have to have forewarning.
Yeah.
Or you just have to be that committed to prepping without the warning.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's people out there that do that.
Build a bunker.
And there are bunkers, right? There's like abandoned bunkers all
yeah.
over.
Yep. And then, it's
cool
like,
if we
what
had
kind of end of the world are we talking about? Are we talking about something like that causes an extinction level event for any life? Or are we talking about the end of civilization? Talking about the end of the human world? Because the ones we've been discussing are more like a natural event that can end.
Yeah, I
That
think
can be extinction level. But, there's also the possibility of some kind of mega virus that,
Yeah.
like in The Stand, where it just sweeps through humanity and just kills almost everyone. And then the only way you can be a survivor of that is either if you're already in a hermetically sealed place and you never get sick, and then you don't know when you can come out, because how long can this thing survive in the open before, what if you walk past a dead body that had it and that body is dead for a month, but can you still catch it? Probably not. But how do you know? But there's plenty of,
hazmat suits.
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stories. I've read tons of science fiction with this exact scenario. I mean, there's tons of it, you know, where you're the survivor of some massive plague that kills almost everyone. And then the whole
you're a super blood.
And what ends up being interesting there, of course, is that the general human civilization realm is not destroyed. It's just abandoned and full of dead people.
Yeah.
So all of the resources
Yep.
are still there, and the rest of the natural world is completely unaffected. You know, all the animals are still there. The weather hasn't changed.
But all of those dead bodies is going to change, like the gases in the
Right,
air.
only for a couple of months, you know.
Well, how do you know a couple months? That was a fast.
It just doesn't last very long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be all dried up.
Yeah, they mummify or they're picked apart.
Yeah.
But you said all the animals were gone.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the rest of the natural world is totally unchanged by a disease that kills all humans.
Okay.
I would loosely define the term, like the way a world-ending event, into something more like what we kind of talk about in the ancient world when we look back. Obviously, not one of these extinction level events. That's not what I'm talking about. Like for, a lot of animal life, all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's no planning that's going to help you through that.
Yeah. Hey, Sam Fibro Fox says, please say hi, Z. Hi, Z. Hi there.
Howdy, Z.
Thanks for listening.
Hi, Z.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of probably more like civilization ending type of things. Like just the idea of a solar outburst that's enough to, say, shut down all of the electrical systems that we have.
Yeah.
Like destroy all the transformers, fry all of these electrical systems. And of course that would start a bunch of fires too. But man, so much of our economy and everything that we do relies on electricity. And if we lost that for an extended period of time, it would be devastating to civilization.
That's right.
And so for example, if it was sufficiently strong enough to fry small electrical systems, then no cars would work unless it was an old car with a carburetor and a vacuum system.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would just be stuck wherever they were, and they wouldn't be able to get any, there wouldn't be any transportation for food and goods and all this stuff. So there's a lot of places in the world that just wouldn't have resources. You wouldn't be able to pull your water out of the ground anymore because it's not run by a windmill.
And you'd be burning a lot more trees regularly. You'd have to have fire to see at night if you have no
I mean, the
electricity.
first thing that would happen is famine, right?
But how long would it take to get any electricity back? It would just
We
be
don't.
like-
This is the thing.
You're just, that's it.
We don't have stockpiles of these transformers, these massive transformers that are, in these giant distribution stations and all this stuff. We don't have a stockpile of those ready. And it's unknown as to if one of those is just sitting there, not even hooked up, could it still fry itself? Because electricity would be induced into those wires if it was a sufficiently strong electromagnetic pulse or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. I see a lot of people in the chat saying The Lost Room. I think that's probably it. I just wanted to see if there were other ideas. But yeah, The Lost Room is probably the right series. Maybe. But I wanted to see if there's another one that people knew about that might be similar.
Wait a minute. Runs with scissors says he's going to use a skateboard with a sail. Are you sure about that? A skateboard with a kite?
Kiteboarding with scissors.
But I see what you're saying about the famine because you can't keep any food cold.
You can't keep the food cold. You can't transport the food. You can't keep watering your crops.
Yeah.
So the crops die because you just have no electricity. You can't run your tractors. You can't do all that stuff to maintain the crop. So the crops will be lost. Then you can't transport existing food stockpiles. Anything that's being kept in cold storage goes bad. I mean,
We're so fragile.
we are very fragile.
Anything can just take us down.
We're fragile. So yeah, that's, to me, I would just say that's that's a world-ending disaster. It's not like the Earth is being destroyed or anything. It's just it's a disaster that's going to change the world in a huge way, like the human world.
Yeah. What about radioactive stuff? What would that look
Like a nuclear disaster.
Well, one of the possibilities is and this would be a more natural event, would be if there was a certain kind of like cosmic event that happened close, and by close I mean within like 200 million light years.
One of these stars.
A quasar. If a quasar happened close to us, we're all dead. I mean, it'll kill all life in the galaxy if there is any elsewhere.
But because we haven't seen it yet, if it was, we would know.
Kyle's about to go Copernican on me.
Well, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying because we say we saw this happen tomorrow. Would that mean that the destroying stuff is already hitting us?
Yeah, because this doesn't require. This is actually the gamma.
So it's just moving at the speed of light.
Yeah.
So okay. So it hits us right when we see the thing.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
You start dying immediately.
This is not.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What do you see?
I mean, at first you wouldn't probably see anything, but eventually it would become like a bright star, a very bright star.
How are you dying? What's
gamma radiation?
So you're
very high frequency light.
This, like your body just starts melting into the ground.
I don't know. I think
it
it tears things apart at the atomic level.
Okay.
Yeah. There could be any other cosmic events like that would be similar, that shoot gamma wavelength light at Earth. Some things have polar plumes, and if the polar plume is aimed at us that we're in the plume,
God. Yeah.
it's deadly if it's close enough. And by close, again, I mean within millions of light years.
So if you're underground when that happens and you know it, and how long do you have to wait till you can come out?
Until it stops.
How long?
It won't irradiate like a dirty bomb would irradiate an area and make it unlivable for 50,000 years or whatever. It doesn't do that. It's like this light. It's light passing you by. Mm-hmm. So it's like if that lamp was emitting gamma radiation, it's hurting you until I turn it off, and then it stops instantly.
Okay.
Right.
How long does it last?
Well, I mean, some of these cosmic events go on for hundreds of thousands of years. So it would completely sterilize anything that it's pointed at.
Move out of the.
Yeah, you could move out of the plume.
It could be spinning. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever are. Are they ever flipping over on their poles or anything?
Some
like
of them
that?
are flipping. Yeah.
Okay, so technically, if you were somebody who was committed to prepping, no matter if you had noticed or not, you've got your cave, you've got your stuff in it, you just so happen to be down there storing stuff when this happens. Mm-hmm. You hear
if you got enough
you
stone,
hear somebody scream, you close the door real. You're like, this is the time.
No. Your electrospectrometer goes
that's right.
into the red zone.
That's right.
And then you just stay down there for a few days and come up. I bet you maybe that's a scenario where
a few days wouldn't be long enough.
Well, but they've been a prepper for a while, so I just think that's a way.
Yeah.
I think that I just came up with a way where it can work.
And then there's other ones, like some people are in there are mentioning the supernovas. Yeah, if we have a big star that's near us, so like within 10 something, I can't remember what the range is, but if you have a big star go nova or supernova nearby, you'll see it, and then you have time because you'll be like, okay, this really close star just went supernova. Now we know there's a lot of heavy particles headed towards us, and you have some years to prepare.
Oh, okay.
But as soon as that heavy particle wave hits us, it'll hit the whole solar system.
That would be, that's the kind of scenario that would be really interesting to see what would happen.
Yeah.
That you had years to prep, everybody did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the whole world would basically realize, like, okay, we're all dead.
In some
the whole world would be digging into
and in some specific scenarios, it's possible that just being on the night side
is enough.
Yeah.
But they'd run the calculations like everybody's like, moves to
you need to be in this tiny wedge.
I bet they would.
But the animals on the other side would die. I mean,
everything would die.
The
all the
whole
life.
ecosystem on that side of the planet, which would affect the other side. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. So there's plenty of cosmic events that would take us out, and the fact that nothing has yet is interesting. This is just a matter of statistics. It's like
I thought it has before.
not something like that we know of.
Right.
Oh, you're saying, okay, I understand.
Not that
Yeah, okay.
particular situation, but
Yeah.
But we've been wiped out.
These kinds of cosmic events are like
Actually,
total extinction level.
we don't know some of the extinction events. I don't think it's known what caused them.
Right.
There's some of them. I mean, some of them we've found out, like the one that killed the dinosaurs. It's like, oh, okay, there's a giant impact. But maybe some of the other ones could have been something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so other ones we've talked about plenty. Impacts. I mean, yeah, like Kyle was saying, solar stuff would be interesting. I don't know, the Earth could flip over. That would be bad.
I was going to ask if what would happen
Then
if the planet moved.
The bottom,
Like in
we'd all
in
have
a
to
weird
go over to
way.
the other flat side.
Yeah. We'd all have to move to Australia. Would be on the top, and then we'd need to live over there.
No, we'd have to go around the edge and get on the other flat side.
Oh, okay, because it's pointed at the sun.
Yeah, that one's pointed at the sun now.
But could we be bumped out of our natural orbit and
Yep.
make it?
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to mention. If some rogue planet object moved into the solar system and started yanking everything out of whack, like pulled, it pulls the outer planets out, it gets slingshotted into the inside. This is what Sitchin talked about with.
I would just think that the tidal forces there would just liquefy the surface of the planet.
What do you mean?
But it doesn't have to get
What does that mean?
close. It could, all it needs, if it just moved Earth a little farther, a little closer to the sun in its orbit.
Yeah, okay.
If we got closer and then everything is too hot, or we get farther away and then you have endless winters,
Yeah.
or our ice caps just grow until like we just have this band of habitable area, around the equator.
Whoa.
Drive more SUVs?
Yeah, we need more global warming,
When
more cows.
So in other words, like the gravity from one body is pulling, if it's so close to our planet, it's pulling way more on the front side or whatever side it's on than the other side. And so it kind of like, it sort of just
Tries to misshapen the planet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Like the moon is doing that
Yep.
to the planet. But anyway, those gravitational forces basically would kind of stir up the surface of the planet if it got close enough. And so it would just, you'd have cracks and lava coming out and everything. It would just liquefy it'd have to be pretty sufficiently large and close. But it could cause the surface to basically just be lava.
Okay.
Most of it.
Somebody mentioned alien invasion. That's like,
It's already happened.
yeah, too late. But that's a different scenario. Then you have something intelligent hunting you down, right? This is not. I mean, this is
Then we fight.
Yes, this is a whole other kind of
Yeah,
survival.
that's why we have to keep our guns for the alien invasion part.
And if they were
Hopefully, we
slugs,
can steal their guns. You
That's
want to be
true.
shooting at them with their weird green
That's
slime.
true.
if they're slugs, we use salt rifles.
The assault rifles. Alien slugs cannot stand the assault rifle. Okay. Any other world-ending scenarios you can think of?
I think
Weird
we covered
ones?
them.
If we ran out of beer, that would
Oh,
be,
yeah. That would be the end of Kyle's world.
that would be a terrible place to live.
All right. Next email from Mark the Skirp Derp Fowler. It's called A Spiral of No Escape. He says, "Hi, guys. Just working my way through the huge back catalog of content. Have started from episode 2, and I'm now on episode 112. Can't even remember how I stumbled across your podcasts, but have no idea what I'll do at work when I finally catch up. Mind-blowing, brain-growing, esoteric entertainment. Keep those butt flaps flapping and skirp derps hard derped. P.S. Have you delved into the realm of DMT yet? It has blown my tiny little, despite being 30% larger, brain. There are definitely connections with our past to be found there. Lots of love from the UK. Mark the Skirp Derp Fowler."
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
It's, I'm not sure I want to keep exploring that one.
Yeah, Kyle may have shut that door permanently.
I may have, yeah. It's too scary.
You have a long life ahead of you, though.
It's a hard journey. DMT does not take it easy on you.
Yeah, but for me, I don't know. I just like I have this thing where I don't want to go to sleep. You know, I don't really want to completely unplug. I have kids. There's something about that I'm just like, no, that's not for me right now.
Yeah. It's just hard.
That's really where it comes from.
And it's the kind of thing where you're like, I know this is hard. And then you take that hit of the DMT and you're like, oh my God. It starts to hit you and you're like, now I remember really how hard this was.
yeah.
And then it's too late.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's some people out there that have written a whole lot of stuff about them doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff
It's
you can find out.
always cool and interesting, but it's just
Yeah, it's very interesting, but it's not for me at this moment in my life. That's all I got to say.
yeah. Okay. This is from
I do wonder what that intelligence is, though.
Yes, there is an intelligence there. It kind of chuckles at you and then shows you things. Yeah, it's like, watch this.
And isn't it? Didn't you say that it was, or have I? Maybe I've heard it somewhere else, but that it's a It gives you the idea that it's a female presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
To me, it did.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe it could be female. I'm not sure. I never really thought about it.
She has the secret to the spiked wine.
I know that the ayahuasca specifically is supposed to be female. I guess with the DMT, I was too. And I never saw any. You don't see any like entity. It's just there. You know it's there. Whatever is showing you stuff there's an intelligence behind it. You know.
I'm pretty sure I read in Graham Hancock's foreword on Immortality Key that it was a female serpent grabbing
That's
him up.
ayahuasca.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Telling him to be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from, I'm going to guess, Casper. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. It's Kacper. Casper.
Yeah.
I'll just
sounds
go with
good.
Casper.
That sounds good.
Yeah. she
Wow.
spelled it.
Hey,
Jonathan.
we got an associate executive producer on our hands right here, Johnathan Bracken, for babysitting, so Laura can have a relaxing evening and Kyle can take a DMT.
There you go. It's trying to remove your responsibilities, bro.
No.
That it might cost a little bit
Thanks,
more
bro.
than $54 to relieve that pressure.
That's great. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. You're funny.
Yeah, thank you. This is called Warm and Fuzzies. Greetings to my two favorite brothers. I was putting away writing this email to you for a while with the intention that I will listen to all the episodes first. Episodes from the best podcast on this planet, as I refer to when recommending it to anyone.
Aw, thank you.
However, I got to episode number 246 with Brandon Powell, and I couldn't wait any longer when Brandon started on breathwork with Wim Hof. I love breathwork myself and do it consciously as much as I can because nowadays most people's breathing is shallow and not conscious at all due to a constant monkey mind chatter on a busy lifestyle pattern that we have. There are loads of books on breathing, but one I've read was mostly focused on love, sexuality, and the Chinese life force called Qi. The book is called The Multi-Orgasmic Man by Mantak Chia. It is a great book, in my humble opinion, with many tips on how to recognize and direct Qi energy in your body. Quickly about myself, my name is Casper. I am 38, born in Poland, where I grew up, working in the UK since 2006 as an HGV driver, delivering milk to supermarkets in the Northwest with a base in Manchester. And I'm always interested in ancient mysteries, Eastern philosophies, martial arts, UFOs, conspiracies, etc. So I'm driving and listening to audiobooks, podcasts, reading books when not driving, meditating, doing my breath work and yoga, and basically always worrying that nothing worries me. Advice which I recommend to everyone. Back to explaining why I'm writing to you. I would like to inspire you a little with the books and materials that I think you should look into if you haven't yet. John Chang, The Ring of Fire documentary. You can find parts of it on YouTube. Also, The Magus of Java, a book about John Chang by Costa Danaus. You'll love that one because Costa is a Greek martial artist, scientist, attempting to explain John Chang's electric chi powers and yin yang secrets. And guess what? There are 72 levels of progression in that Ni Gong or Ni Kung that are mentioned in the book, which a practitioner can achieve. Nigel Kerner, Gray Aliens and AI. Author explains how he sees our universe, God, heaven, and hell, what is our soul and where it goes, and a lot of conspiracies too. I found that one through your fellow podcast, Conspiranormal, and it blew my mind a little. Probably Marty would benefit a lot from this writer if he isn't familiar with him. The Montauk Chronicles, a documentary on mind control experiments, which I found extremely interesting and a little scary. Rudolf Steiner, he is an occultist with amazing insights. Recently, I've been listening to his lectures on bees. For you beekeepers out there is a lot of knowledge. But his other works are probably more profound. For instance, How to Know Higher Worlds or Akashic Records. There is a woman called Danette Friedman, and if you check her channel on YouTube and open I Wish to Inspire as Many People as I Can, it will open a page with links where you'll be able to find a lot of Steiner's work in audio, plus some more stuff on the world's favorite speakers and occultists, if you're interested. My road to the Serpentine podcast was kind of a short one. Mike and Maurice's Mind Escape, The Alchemical Mind, and then Serpent Bros. Keep up the good work. Always fascinated by your content. Love your sound quality and music. Best giggles and sense of humor. And that will always make me come for more while I'll be wearing your snake cap proudly. Oh, and I'll throw you my little poem, too, because all you do is talk about sciences and standard models and an understanding, and nobody knows if really anybody knows. Science is there to make you aware of all the varieties contained in realities. So be open-minded and not too ecstatic, because sometimes to someone you might look dogmatic. That's all, folks. Best regards from Casp.
Well done. Great
Thank
email.
you, buddy.
Yeah, interesting
What do you
list
think
of
about
stuff.
his recommendations? Huh?
The Montauk stuff I've seen, very interesting. And yes, the mind control stuff. And it's like, I think, loosely connected to the Philadelphia experiment somehow. Marty definitely knows all that stuff. I don't know if he knows.
Sounds like it's right up his alley.
Yeah, Gray Aliens and AI. I don't know if he knows that one.
Yeah, Marty, go check out all those sources and then do a podcast
I've seen the
on it.
John Chang stuff.
He probably already knows it all.
I have seen this John Chang stuff. I
Hi,
don't
Red Wings,
know what to
339.
think about that guy. I'm always suspicious of this, I have chi powers that can set things on fire,
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, who knows? But I'm not going to watch a video on YouTube and be like, wow, it's totally real. It's just not what happens. But yeah, it's cool. And yeah, if anybody hasn't looked into Montauk, Philadelphia, the chi stuff, you definitely should. Okay. What are we at here?
We got more?
Yeah, I think you can do another email before this runs out.
The
My time.
official clock is not up there. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the last segment? Or are we just over?
No.
We're just over.
What are you talking about? No, we're not.
I
Oh,
thought
no,
we- I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
we
We're
were on the
definitely
third
over,
segment.
and this is not the last segment. Yeah, this
Right.
is segment
This is
3,
the
and
third
we've gone
segment.
way over. Okay. Because we could stop now and then come back for
We've
one more,
been
or we
losing
just
the
or we just
thing.
go until we have a break.
The why can't I think about what this is called right now?
The
That
sands
is
of
called
time.
an hourglass.
An hourglass. We've been using the hourglass or the
Yeah.
30-minute glass. What is it?
Yeah, it's 30 minutes,
Okay.
roughly.
Yeah.
It's not always the same.
Well, this is from Drew, and Drew is a
And we never turn it over at the proper time.
Right.
That's actually
That's
the
true.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. This is from Drew, who is also LP McQuack in the
Hey,
Discord.
dude.
What's up?
Yeah, this is a long one. And Drew, by the way, needs to come on the show. He has some other material that he wants to talk about so maybe you need to get in contact with him.
Drew,
Yeah.
you're coming on the show.
Schedule this guy.
I'm scheduling you.
Yeah, because he's got some great stuff and we need to get him on. Okay.
I'll make a note right
So
now.
this is called Beatboxing and Mysticism. Snake Bros. A consistent... I wish I could do this in Drew's accent because he has a fantastic, Southern accent. But a consistent pattern I've noticed in the world, myths, and religions is that of learning the true name of an entity in order to invoke it.
Aye.
This true name has its own wiki entry that includes these examples. The true name of the Egyptian sun god Ra was revealed to Isis through an elaborate trick. This gave Isis complete power over Ra and allowed her to put her son Horus on the throne. The true name of God plays a central role and Kabbalism, and to some extent Sufism. The ancient Jews considered God's true name so potent that its invocation conferred upon the speaker tremendous power over his creations. Also in a biblical context, the tale of Jacob's nocturnal wrestling with an anonymous angel. The angel refuses to reveal his own name to Jacob, even after the angel's submission at dawn. Thereafter, Jacob obtains a new name, which signifies his successful struggle to God and man, and names the place to commemorate his surviving an encounter with the divine. According to practices in folklore, referred to as the law of names, knowledge of a true name allows one to affect another person or being magically. It is stated that knowing someone's or something's true name therefore gives the person who knows the true name power over them. A legend of Saint Olaf recounts how a troll built a church for the saint at a fantastic speed and price, but the saint was able to free himself by learning the troll's name during a walk in the woods. In Scandinavian beliefs, more magical beasts, such as the Nix, could be defeated by calling their name. Isn't this... There's some of this in fairy tales as well, right?
I think so.
Rumpelstiltskin was a name one. Yep. In addition to these examples, I am reminded of the 72 demons in the Lesser Key of Solomon, and even that the true name is part of gameplay in Dungeons & Dragons today. Another pattern observed in religious traditions across the world is that of breathing practices. From yoga and meditation to martial arts, many faiths include an emphasis on breathing. Indeed, devotees often spend years harnessing and controlling their breath as a means to liberation. A third consistency in religious systems is that of singing, chanting, and making religious sounds. These are most often voices. Humans generate sound, but can include some religious instrumentation. Cathedrals were seemingly built as resonant chambers for monks to call upon the Almighty. The loose idea I keep returning to is whether these three observable consistencies, the importance of a true name of an entity, breathing practices, and devotional chanting and music, are all quant-suffed remnants of a greater truth. What if the true names of these entities are so difficult to say out loud, you have to train your body in very intensive ways to say it correctly? What if it takes years of breath practices and 10,000 hours of chanting on key while meditating in a resonant chamber in order to get the sounds right? What if Solomon had the powers of a Mongolian throat singer and a beatboxing wonderkind? Just an idea. I know you guys like questions.
No, that's a good idea.
And I think one of you, maybe the funny one, is into sound. It makes me wonder if raising your vibrations isn't more accurate than we may think. Just got to get those chakras humming at harmonies of 432 hertz. In personal news, my wife and I are working to buck the school system and team up with some other parents for a homeschool collective. All right.
Yes.
That's cool.
Our first meeting with the other interested parents was a few weeks ago, and I wound up throwing a UFO comment out to see if anybody took the bait. And sure enough, one of the fathers is up on valet, pasalka, and etc. While this may not be a proper synchro, it had some resonance with me. Snake Bros make homeschooling sound reasonable, while also making ancient religious Yuffie esoterica sound like something I can bring up at parties. Lo and behold, the mark of Cain will find us all. Thank you for all you do. With love, as always, from LP.
That's cool, dude.
I love that. I love that idea, and I love that email. And
Yeah,
if you don't
a
mind
really
me-
good email.
If you don't mind me saying, I have put together a team, and we are going to start. We have somewhat started Snake Bros Kids.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be YouTube videos of the essence of Brothers of the Serpent for kids.
For children.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted. That's LP. That's who you're saying. Who was that?
LP McQuack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew.
I'm gonna call you up. I'm gonna tell you all the plans. We're gonna get you on the show.
Cool.
We got another donation up there.
We have a producer
Wow,
donation.
a
Executive
executive
producer
producer
donation
yeah.
by Deal99.
Oh, deal number 99.
123.4. $123.40. It's all about the Yugas.
Yes.
He says, thank you so much
Yeah,
Thank you
for that donation. Really appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Holy crap.
Oh,
And
Fu.
real quick,
Yeah.
I was going to go back to this email.
Sound. Names.
Yeah, so
Tell me your name, demon.
Yeah. So I've wondered about this as well, like the learning of the name and having control over the demon by knowing its name. And, to me, I try to put that into sort of like a technological context.
stuffing, yeah.
And, but I don't totally discount the idea that it could actually be a sound that you're making with your voice. But what I was thinking is, like, when you, in science, like if we discover something, like we discover radiation or, the atom, right? That discovery, no matter what we call it, in a way is like we have named this thing because we know of its existence, and now we have power over it in a way. We can manipulate it because we know it's there. So like when a force is discovered, so what I'm thinking of is the idea of naming the demon, because the demons in a lot of cases are like eerily like natural forces in a way.
Yep. They're natural
they're
forces with
personified
agency.
in some way. And if you think about, people say, look, a lot of ancient cultures are like, oh, the river god, or the god of the sea, the god of the sky, the god of the land, the god of the mountain, the god of the volcano, whatever, the god of fire. It's like they have this way of like personifying these aspects of the universe, and we don't, for most of history, probably we did not understand fire. But when you learn certain things about it, you become a master over it in a way. We didn't know about the atom, but now that we know, we've in a way become a master of it, or over its use. So that's the kind of thing that it makes me think, that we can utilize these forces, these natural forces of the universe, once we understand them. And to understand them is to know their name. That's kind of the way I think about it. But maybe it is actually some intelligent being.
Yeah.
that you actually have to know its name.
That's cool the way you're talking about it. But if you listen to Richard Feynman, it doesn't even matter if you know its name. You don't understand it at all.
Well, that was kind of his point. What Feynman's point was about a name, and a name doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
He was saying, like, when you're talking about a bird, it's like, okay, so I didn't know the bird was called the golden cheek warbler, or whatever it is. But now I'm looking at the bird. What is it doing? What are its characteristics? How does it, do whatever it does?
It warbles and it has golden cheeks. That's all you need to know.
It builds its nest out of only very
old growth
cedar.
cedar. Yeah.
And it's very rare, and so we must never chop a cedar tree down that's older than whatever. It's great. Genius.
We missed a.
Yeah, he was making the same point. And I think that point is that one way, or his point was that you actually have to know something about the thing to have to understand it, and once you gain the understanding, then you can manipulate it or have control over it in a scientific way or in a technological way. But just knowing its name, especially if you're the one who gave it the name, that's not important.
Yeah.
Because really, the universe named that thing in a way, right? The universe gave it very distinct characteristics, or God, or however you want to say it. God gave it very distinct characteristics. If you can discover those, that is its actual universal name, is its distinct characteristics.
But this does make this sequence in Genesis, right? With before Eve is made, and it's like God and Adam in the garden, and Adam is given the job
grows forever.
Adam is given the job of naming all the animals.
Yes.
Right? And there's this weird thing happening there too, where it's like he's giving him power over the natural world.
That's a really good point. I had never thought of that in that
You're
way.
both making really good points. You're expanding my brain right now.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
That is cool. Does he name Eve as well, or does God say, like, check it out?
She was probably like,
her name is Eve.
My name is Eve. I can take care of naming myself.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you got to go up.
I could make so many jokes about that, but I'm not gonna.
She was a lady of the evening.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Ed Food text you later. Says regarding $20, by the way, thank you very much. Regarding recommendations, have you seen Robert Grant's Codex series? It's a bit out there, but there is a couple of interesting ideas on the Great Pyramid.
Sounds really familiar. Codex.
Also, I highly recommend Dr. Robert Gilbert. Very interesting cat.
Don't know that one.
Don't know. Robert Grant's
But
Codex.
Codex sounds familiar.
No. But I'm going to have to write it down in my notes.
Laura's putting it down in the notes.
Oh, you
too.
got it? Okay.
I guess I'm going to put both of those down.
All right. Well,
We done?
Is it over already?
I mean,
We did it?
we got 5 minutes.
Okay, we still have a few emails too.
I am, it's a rare event. I'm actually trying to wrap it up, folks. 'cause
Yeah.
I
Kyle
gotta
has
go
to
back.
go. We probably should just not.
No, we can do one more. But I'm just saying, like, normally I'm like, keep going.
Okay, well, we'll do this one because it's from Matt in Delaware. And
All right.
It's a short one. All right. Cosmic Summit questions. Hey, Russ. Matt in Delaware here. Saw the Cosmic Summit presentation and thought you did a fantastic job. Oh, thank you. You seem to really engage the audience with the material, and the photos demonstrated your points. And the diagrams were great, especially those corner blocks. That's the first time I've ever seen someone demonstrate how they could have been made. So well done. And just so everyone knows, that presentation is Kyle and I's. I'm presenting it, but the photos are ours, and the ideas are definitely ours. We've hashed that stuff out.
And
together.
Kyle's
Hey,
in
thanks,
a lot
bro.
of the photos. He made his cameo.
Yeah,
On the...
Kyle's in the photos. Some of the photos are his, but all the ideas are ours, right? This is like specifically back and forth. And a lot of the construction ideas are specifically Kyle's. Like Kyle comes up with the seed of the idea, and then we work it out over long periods of time. So, yeah.
Wow, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are
appreciate
so
that.
sweet.
He says, I have a few questions based on the presentation and would love to hear your thoughts. Having recently been to Göbekli Tepe, I was wondering if you noticed any similarities with how the large pillars in the Osirian are set into the ground compared to how the Göbekli Tepe pillars are set into the ground. Yeah, you mean like they're socketed in? I don't know. The ones in Göbekli Tepe are weird because they just don't seem structurally sound even with the socket. I don't know. It just doesn't.
But I think that's a lot of that's just reconstructed. I think they stood those up.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I think in a lot of cases those central pillars were broken off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I need to go through That's
what I mean with the Osirian. One of them might get knocked down, but you're not going to break that thing off. You're not going to break it off.
They were trying.
Hey, we got our first encore.
Oh, yeah. Don't
From
go.
Rex. No, don't go. Thanks, buddy. $20 from Rex. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. Do you have any guesses about whether all these unfinished sites were abandoned at or around the same time, or are these different tools down moments across time? And I have no way of answering that question. Because we were at the Cosmic Summit and the theme there specifically was, there was this disastrous event that we know of. And then in combination with Ben's fantastic presentation where he's basically bringing very good, hard evidence that we need to relook at the possibility of a civilization pre-dynastic at the very least, using high-quality precision instruments to make small objects. I combined those things at the end of the Cosmic Summit presentation to say maybe what we're looking at is like there was a large global civilization and they all had a tools down moment at the same time. But I mean, whether that's true, I don't know. Most of these sites all of these sites that I talked about have been reused and reused and reused over time. So there's probably no way of knowing. We'd have to find some hall of records.
Well, one thing's for sure, even some of the sandstone temples in Egypt had column drums that had not yet been flattened out and, carved. But the rest of the temple seems to be done. And it's just like, wow, it's one column drum. Maybe they made a repair,
Yeah.
1,000 years later and just never finished it. I don't know. But there's definitely, I think we can say for sure that there were multiple down tools moments.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Now, whether these hard granite megalithic sites all had those down tools moment at the same time, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, yeah. That was the deal. Is like not only is there's this unfinished aspect where they're nearing the end of the project, and then all work seems to have stopped and never continued. But there's also lots of other things about the pattern. You know, the fact that they're working in very difficult stone, that the stones are enormous, heavy in weight, that there's like a lot of times the largest thing that they were going to do is still in the quarry. The stone cutting marks are anomalous and unexplained. They don't match chiseling or pounding stones or any other known stoneworking technique. Yeah. And then there's the heterogeneous nature, dry laid, very fine joins with enormous blocks, very difficult projects that seem to have been added onto later by later people using less ability. So there's a big pattern with lots of different points, and you see this around the world, and you start to think, is this the same people doing this stuff, or at least the same kind of crew? You know, people that are using the same stoneworking basic techniques and technologies. So,
but nevertheless, whatever it was, you had an awesome mic drop moment pulling it all together like that. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you. Okay, and then finally, you showed the pictures of Kyle in the boxes doing definitely legal science experiments and normal touristy things. Haha, but do you have to worry at all about anyone in Egypt seeing that and then it being a problem the next time you travel there? Does that stuff happen or not? Or is that also where Yusuf helps? So Yusuf always advises us there's certain ways that these people pay attention to some things, and there's two things they generally tell you is like, don't immediately post that on Facebook, right? And sometimes they're just like, please don't take pictures of this at all. Yeah. You know? But yeah, that's just like, I don't think we're going to get in trouble. Ben's got similar stuff in his videos, and he has way more views on his stuff where he's doing totally legal things in Egypt. Yep. And he hasn't gotten in trouble. So,
yeah.
But, you know, you give it enough time and you do it in a certain way and you're going to be okay. The thing with the boxes, I'm making a joke about it being totally legal, is that you can get in the boxes.
Yeah. You can.
There's
definitely
an exchange system.
There's
just at that particular time, Kyle hadn't done any exchanges with anyone. He was just in the box, totally legally.
But that was also a special permission because that was in a different area that we had paid to go into, and it was just like, yeah, go.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's right.
So yeah.
He says, P.S. Kyle, I just received the signed album. It looks even more beautiful in hand than it did in the pictures. Can't wait to blast it from the speakers. Wilmington is going to get a free concert tonight. Snakes!
Sweet. Thank you.
And look,
very
in the
much.
picture, he's got Rune, the other $50 Dynasty album.
Oh, wow.
Snake Rose sticker on his CD case. Yeah, dude's got all the stuff.
Wow.
Thank
Get all that?
you.
I think I still have boxes of CDs somewhere.
I think we do. They're in Soul's closet.
Are they really?
I think that's where they are. Thank you so much. And I want to give a shout out to Peter Curtis, who I think is in here. And
Hey, what's up, bro?
One-Eyed Drummer, new listener. Shout out to you.
And Rex again. Playing every frequency at once would bring about the end of the world. Thanks, Rex.
Thank you for all your support.
Yeah, it would.
Yep.
Because that would go in.
It would include the gamma frequencies, and we would all die. That's right.
I wonder if that was what the Big Bang was.
All the frequencies.
Frequency.
Yeah.
Playing at once.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Do we have a button for that?
Oh.
For what?
Where is it?
There we go.
Oh,
There it is.
The explosion.
That's the Big Bang.
This has been great. Thank you for having me in here.
Yeah.
I love being in here.
Thank you, Laura. And thanks to all of you guys in the chat. Thanks to all the super chats and the big donations. Thanks to the executive and associate executive producers. I think Rex made himself pretty much an associate with those two donations.
Yeah,
Real
bro.
close. And then Edfu probably is going to end up being at least an associate executive as well. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yep.
The show will go up in audio version whenever we get it ready. As we said before, this is harvest time, so everybody's busy. Kyle's going back to the vineyard
Hang
after
in
we
there
finish
with
this.
us, people.
But yeah, so I'll try to keep everybody updated on when we're going to do a show, and if we're not, at least in the Discord. But meanwhile, we love you guys.
Always have.
Always will.
I love you the most.
Good night, Adamu.
Get back to work.